right, folks. I think we're ready to roll. 2 deliveries. The normal route. Everything's good. We're all ready. We're set and ready to roll. All right, folks. Good morning. Saturday morning. February. Jeez, what did that come from? November the 8th. It's much warmer today. It's like in the low 50s today. This morning already. So that was very nice. All good. It was a little rainy overnight, so we might get some tire mist on our windshield. It doesn't look as bright to me. Not seen any warning light that says your lights are not on, but it just doesn't seem as bright to me. I'm sorry. I guess it is. I don't know why it seems very dark. Maybe I'm slowly dying. And this is what it's like. It's darker and darker. Alright. This guy's going very slow. I don't understand why. opportunity to pass. The 4 cars behind me that are like lined up, ready to roll. So here's the strategy. I'm just going to stay behind this slow poke. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the 30? That means I would be behind this person the whole way down 30. Oh, you know what? I can pass my 91. I'm just going to stay here. Because all this other traffic is just going to go whoosh. There they go. Be free! Yesterday was very sunny, but it was cold, extremely cold, kind of windy. I didn't go outside and do anything. Did I get anything done? I don't think I really did any major accomplishment yesterday. But today's going to be a little warmer. Still sunny, although it doesn't look like it right now. We are getting the misty windshield effect. That's not negatively affecting her. It is. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It is negatively affecting your view. A couple things I noted from my video yesterday. One is that when I'm driving down 795, and we got the traffic noise, we got the rattles. It's difficult to hear me talking. So, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. A couple solutions. One is just talk louder, which I could do, because I don't remember that. Maybe yesterday I was not talking loud because I felt like I couldn't hear what I was saying, which is frustrating because I mean, if I was a listener, I'd be like, well, what did he say? You know, like, you can't hear exactly. It's not clear. It's kind of dumb. Although, I've been watching more driving cams, like delivery people, and they're not quite as talkative as me, which is cool. I mean, they've got a lot of viewers, people that just watch. I was watching the one that I mentioned it on here before. The name is The Bird Chef. I think it's called The Bird Chef. And they do have recipes and stuff on the site, but it looks like all of the live streams, and there are a lot of them on the site, are... What are we going to do? Should I stay here or should I pass? Let's pass. David! So the site called The Bird Chef, and it's a delivery person, and it must be like, it's got to be Amazon or one of them, because he's driving through neighborhoods out in the... I asked what state he was in, and he just said Pacific Northwest. So I'm thinking Oregon or Washington State, maybe. Very pretty. I mean, the scenery is nice. I watched it for a little bit. Wow, it's very foggy. In case you're wondering why the video looks so bad, it's because we're in the middle of dense. It wasn't this foggy coming up. I just drove up here a half an hour ago. So the fog has descended. But I did notice that he doesn't talk a lot, and his text, he must read the text, because I sent a couple messages and he answered. Nice guy, but most of it is just driving along. And of course he's hopping out of the truck constantly. You never see him though. Like I watched, I don't know how long I watched this, maybe 10 minutes. maybe more. Off and on. I might have watched 20 because I kept going back. But, you know, he pulls up to a spot. You hear the door open and all that kind of... Oh, he has this really kind of cool feature, though, where in the upper left-hand corner of this screen is his heart rate. So he must have it hooked up to, you know, he must be connected to whatever he's wearing. Fitbit or something that's monitoring his heart rate. And so, because I was looking at this number, I'm like, is that number like really for real? And then yeah, like if he stops and has a delivery where he's got a heavy package or something, you see the heart rate go up when he picks it up. It's kind of, I mean, it does add a little bit of something to keep an eye on while you're there. Driving through a neighborhood that had, if you can imagine, if anybody saw the movie E.T., I can't imagine most people didn't, unless you're very young. So it looked like an E.T. type neighborhood, except the houses. I remember in E.T. thinking that the houses were like very big, nice houses, but they're on small little pieces of land, which was a thing for a while. For a while, people bought, maybe it still is, people bought very large houses, but they were all very tightly packed together, and everybody's house was on a very small piece of land. And that's what this one neighborhood he went through. Then he was driving around a little bit. He got into a spot that was, or an area that was, looked like the same type of homes, but they were definitely spread out a little bit more. Still not a lot. I'm sort of the opposite. I have a very small house, but it's on a bigger piece of land. Not huge, but in comparison, it looks huge. Slow today. What the heck? I mean, just so you know, we're going 30 miles an hour right now. That's another feature that I probably could figure out how to put on here. Maybe. That's my next thing. My next thing to learn is how to get more stuff on the screen. That might be interesting. See, I kind of pretend that somebody's watching, even though I don't think they are. Because even if you go back later, you watch this, it's much more interesting to watch a video where somebody's saying something, I think. Especially, it's just a weird feeling. People are very slow. Like way below the speed limit type of slow. I don't mind going. I mean, the speed limit usually feels slow, but it's okay. But it's just like below the speed limit type of slow. It was. We're not going to make us late. Maybe. Whoa. So close. So close and yet so far. Get to Lenny's. When we get to my first delivery, I will wipe the windshield off and see if we can get Starbucks came out with I guess maybe it's their holiday cup. I don't know if they do it every year or not. I just saw them talking about this last night. But on Thursday morning, they was to come out with something called a Bear Easter. Bear Easter. And looks like a little bear. It looks like the bear on a honey. You know those honey containers that are like a little bear. 6 miles, 6 minutes. So anyway, it's like a big version of that bear, and then it's got like a little Starbucks kind of hoodie thing on top of it. But it was cute. It's kind of big, and it's cold drinks. apparently. I think it's glass. I think it's like, to buy it is like $39-$40, I think. If I was reading the website properly. But they must have come out with them yesterday or Thursday morning. And I guess they ran out right away. Like, I think the stores didn't have enough to sell. So, it's the big collector's item. And apparently there were people by the end of the day or by Friday morning that were selling them online for like $500 because you couldn't get them at Starbucks anymore. I don't know the story. Like I don't know what they didn't say whether more are coming out. I did look at a couple of stories on it just to see like what's the deal. But I mean they didn't announce that it was happening. I guess you have to be sort of a Starbucks person to know that that thing was coming out on that day. But anyway, there you are. I did not get one. I mean, if they had been less than $40 and still available, you know, but maybe they ran out every day, so you had to get there early. I could have done that. But when I say less than $40, I'm thinking 20, maybe half of that. What I was thinking. But yeah, I'm not going to buy one for $40. Definitely not buying one for $500. So I think it was this section, like I'm riding along, and I definitely was not talking loud enough. I wasn't picking it up, so I'm going to check this out. This is my normal speaking volume. So maybe I'll look at this stream later and see how this sounded. Because the only other thing I could do, well, I could just stop talking, but the other thing I can do is get a microphone. I'm trying to pace myself. Like the broadcasting software, you see the ad, not the ad, but it's got like the logo on the left. Prism Studio Live or Live Studio. So that's the streaming software that I'm using that connects to YouTube. And it actually has a lot of features. You can connect it to more than just one. So let's say somebody wanted to broadcast on YouTube and Twitch other channels. I don't think you can do two separate YouTube channels. You probably can't. Maybe you could. But if you wanted to do that, you could do it. With Prism, you can do that. You can have it connected to multiple sites like that. And it has all kinds of stuff. It has like fun little. You can put glasses on yourself and all that kind of stuff. Things that I'm really not going to use it for. But it's basic download when you use it. You know, to use it, it's free. But of course, it has some not ads that you see, but ads that I see by being a user of it. So, like when I open it up, it pops up an ad. When I'm ending my stream, it pops up an ad. So there's that kind of advertisement on it. The free version. What else do you do? Oh, and the logo, like. If you pay for their Plus version, which is their premium, it's only one thing. But if you pay for that, and it's monthly or annually, I think if you pay monthly, it must be like $10, $15 a month. I didn't go that far, but I think it's like $10, $15 a month. If you pay for that, then you can remove that little logo in the lower right corner. I think when the stream ends, it says something like, Craig Bafford's using Prism, blah blah blah. So you can stop that from happening. So basically, but I almost, I almost clicked on maybe I should buy it, but we'll see. I mean, the ads aren't so frequent for me that it's a problem, and I don't think that little logo is a big deal for now on the screen. But if I ever wanted to put my own little thing down there, but I don't want to build up too much expense on this until I figure out whether. Here we go. Get ready, everybody. Seatbelts attached. Tighten your belts. That's what they say. That's what they tell the NASCAR drivers. The race is starting. Sort of a really close parallel to what you got here. Going for it. Oh! See it? I didn't see it. I think it was yellow the whole time. The roads are wet, so if I had hit the brakes, we could have slid down that hill. It could have been a catastrophe. And I've got well over 100 passengers today. Well over. think when I loosen the thing, okay. All right, guys, here we go. Delivery location number 1. Mega Millions, nobody must have won. I noticed it's $900 million. I might have to get a ticket. Hold on, let me see if I got $5. $5, not $5. I do. I'm doing it. I'm buying a ticket on my way out. Don't let me forget that. We got a lot of Danish here. A lot of Danish. We got some chocolate top cookies. I'll be back. quick little. It's actually pretty clean. All right. Actually, the window really wasn't that dirty. I probably made it worse. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's turn around. Please focus your attention on the front of the vehicle at this time. Thank you. Very good. Good, good, good. All right, let me put my... Okay, we're off to our second and final destination. We do need to get gas today, though. I was going to hold off till tomorrow, but I believe they have to use the van this afternoon for something. And so, we're going to fill this son of a gun up. Here we go. Hold on. Oh. You know what? No. Hang on. Remember I was going to check the lights? I think they're fine, but it just didn't seem bright enough. So here we go. Hold on. Check this out, everybody. We got a problem. We got a problem. Right there. Headlights out. I knew it. Son of a gun. Well, you know what? Think of it this way. I told you about the creaky noise when we back up. So now, I knew that. Hope we don't get a ticket. Dang it. So drive carefully. Yeah, so I know that Bob was talking about taking the van in for we think it's a brake issue, brake pad type thing. It's making that creaky noise. I think I lose you guys somewhere along here, so I'll be careful with my conversation until I know we're in a more stable environment. Speed limit is 30. I'm going to get a speeding ticket and a headlight out. I wonder why they put that out, because the speed limit actually is 40. So what's that about? Huh? If there's a sign like that, supersede the other signs? I don't think so. Oh, there was a little rabbit on the side of the road. I saw him. He didn't run across the road. He was just sitting there. And that was an adult. I think the little baby rabbit that's in my separate clip, if you haven't watched it, there's something out there called Buddy's Near-Death Experience, and you can hardly see it. All right, so don't get excited. It's not going to be anything that's too exciting. But there's a moment in that clip where you see this little tiny, and it must be a little tiny rabbit. That's what I think it is. I mean, it's so fast, so small, it's such a blur that you really don't know what it is. I mean, if we were riding next to a playground, it could be like a ball that came out of it. Some kid threw a ball in the street. A little ball, like a softball. Not a basketball. Not one of those, those red rubber balls that have like the pattern on them, which you typically use for like dodgeball, like that kind of rubber, like a reddish color, dark red color. Yeah. Not that big. It wouldn't be that big. The thing that went across the street in front of me was very small. The good thing is, I think when they use the van this afternoon, they won't have to have the lights on, so that won't be a problem. Just us. We got our blade. We got our arrow. Another spot. Where are we? Anybody who's ridden with me before knows. Coming up on the speed camera from hell. This is my karma from the universe. Last time we were the first to go. This time we're not. You know, everything evens out. back to this guy. So the guy that I was watching, the driver, I think it's called Delivery Driver Dash Cam. Oh, and I asked him, I said something about, I think I said your video quality is really good. And he said he's just using his phone. So I wondered about that. But he's driving very slow. Like he probably never goes above 40 miles an hour. At least not in the, 30, 40 miles an hour in the neighborhoods where I'm watching. He's never going very fast. And I think that helps. The more stable the phone is, the camera is. What is going on? Driving without a headlight. You get a point for that? I hope not. But, think about it. If you're driving with one headlight, that means you're only one headlight away from driving with no headlights at all. Think about that. Think about it. Like normally if you're driving along, alright, it's going to get my audio, you're probably going to freeze at some point here, so I'm going to stop talking. Thank goodness. Go ahead, say it. Firewood. This second cafe where I'm delivering my donuts, I got a pretty big order today. They had a lot yesterday, so they must have been busy yesterday. It's a pretty busy place, I think. They do a good business where they are located. that sign on, because I never noticed that sign, but it said roadwork starting on 9/17, which, according to my calendar, was almost 2 months ago. Seems like they're always doing work on these bridges, but then they do need some work. I mean, they're not. It's the roughest part of the ride. Is when you get to the bridge. See what I mean? Like, it's been like that for a long time, and I guess they work on it either during the day or at night, but not all night, because I've never seen that. See, there was a guy on the other side of the road that had no headlights. That seems to be more of an issue. Foggy. Remember fog lights? I don't think they put fog lights on cars anymore. It was like an orangish yellow light. I guess yellow. I had cars with fog lights. So it was another switch on your lights where just this yellow light would come on, and it was supposed to help you see better in the fog. And I guess it did. I think it's the bright white lights that make the fog look more dense. I've seen them on cars recently. That much. Like, there's a certain level of fog where you just can't see anything, regardless. That's always kind of scary. About that when I was watching something the other day. Like, I think that's the way I see people try to get their cameras to focus. So I just threw in a random. the streets in Ocean City, Maryland used to work this way, where they're set up, they're timed in a way so that if you're driving the speed limit and you get into a cycle of green lights, that theoretically you would just keep going. You know, they're set up so that it's, you know, but if you were, let's say we're driving above the speed limit, well then you're eventually going to hit a red light because you're driving faster than they're changing. And then same thing with parking in reverse, I guess. But I don't really notice any locations that do that anymore. I thought it was a great idea. I haven't driven in Ocean City, Maryland for many years. Some splash. It's foggy, it's misty. Misty watercolor memories of the scattered pictures. You know, by the time you get old, not old, older, you realize how much stuff is in your head. You gotta let it out. You gotta let it out. Wow. This guy over at High is taking a picture of the door. I think that's the girl. Where's the other store? What time are they? Oh, they might open at 6:30. It's not 6:30 yet. Okay. Let's take out my headphones. Gotta remember to tell Bob the lights out. Alright, let's go move. Are they there? Let's try this. I can see that I have zero people watching. I can see that. I can see it go like that, and then it would. All right, let's try. Let's call. She's probably in there getting stuff ready. So I can do this. All right, they're coming. I'll be right back. Please hold. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let the fun begin. Try to keep the donuts together, you know what I'm saying? Then we get the cronuts. Then we get the Creole salts. And then the cinnamon buns. That's what they used to call me in high school, cinnamon buns. Alrighty. Alright, I'll be right back. Hang in there. Please hold. little restroom break. Okay, all right. There you go. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Doesn't come off easy. I was going to say something. I can't think of it. All right, so here we go, everybody. It's time. Okay, I like that. I like that. That's good. Let's go this way a little bit more. There we go. Boom. I think that works better than what I was doing before. So, oh, we do have a little warning light on there now. What's that about? Oh, I wonder if that's because the light's out. Okay. All right, we do have to stop and get gas. That's new. I'm going to assume that see that warning light in the middle there? I'm going to assume that is because our headlight is out. But it wasn't there before. Alright, let's just do this. Let's do this. Headlight out, but I don't like the little yellow warning thing. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow's Sunday. Oh, that yellow light went out, by the way. All right, everybody, that's good. The yellow light went out. So I don't know what was causing that. Question. I really don't know this. It's been a long time since I took my driver's test. Am I supposed to use my left-hand turn signal to merge into the traffic? Not that there was any traffic, but you know what I mean? I don't know the answer to that question. I should. I don't think I've ever done that. Like, obviously, you turn the signal on if you're going to change lanes, which is what you're doing, but I don't think you're supposed to use it. I'm gonna have to figure that out before challenge to become a real thing, you have to have a viewer, at least one. That's what I should do. I should make up like a little fake board game box. You know, like the boxes you used to buy Monopoly or what was the other one? Life. All those, you know, they come in a box, right? So I need to make up a fake box, what we're gonna call signal game. Maybe signal challenge. Something like that. And, you know, that'll be my little, that'll be the logo I use for that game. You need at least one player. More people that were in the chat, more chance that you got to get on it. You got to know what's going on. Get on it. I was watching the stream yesterday I was telling you about with the guy that drives a delivery van, a delivery truck. He's got a full-blown, you can tell it's a truck. You can just tell by the way it sounds when he's in it. And I noticed that in the live chat, YouTube has started showing these, like, I don't think it's on every live stream. I looked it up. I think it's like not, they haven't rolled it out to all locations. But it's like a little crown, and then next to the crown is a number, like your rating number or something. And at first I was, because I had made a comment in the chat, and it had the little crown next to my name and the number 2. And there was somebody else I noticed that had made a comment or two before me, but I don't know how long before me, and you can't tell how many people. I mean, there were like, when I was watching this live stream, there were like 15 people watching. So I don't know if the person that made that comment, I don't know when they made the comment. It could have been an hour before me. I think the guy had been online for like 3 hours. So I couldn't tell any of that, but I made my little comment. That was the one where I said something about your video looks really clear, quality's good or whatever. So all I know is I'm crown number 2 and this other guy was crown number 1. And I think that person had actually made 2, like back to back, they made 2 different comments. So then later I asked him what state he was in. I mean, I was the only person that was talking to him at this point. So I did notice that after like 2 or 3 comments, all of a sudden now my little crown turned to crown number 1. I'm like, I don't understand this. So I asked AI what was going on, and apparently that's where I learned that YouTube is rolling out this thing, and it depends on your activity in the live chat. So if you're in the live chat and you're chatting, you're adding conversation, that's a good thing. If you know, YouTube has all this stuff where like you can add a sticker, you can donate money, you can do all kinds of stuff in the chat. So the more involved the person is, the higher or the lower their number is. Like number 1, you become number 1 by being the person that has contributed the most to the chat. I guess that's the way to look at it. And probably been in there longer. I mean, it's apparently a combination of many things that determines whether you're the number one person, 2, 3, or wherever, what your ranking is. So I remained number one for the rest of my time in there, even though some guy from Russia came in. I had stepped away from the computer for a couple of minutes, and when I came back, some guy from Russia had popped in and said hello. And I didn't reply because I didn't know how long ago he had sent it, and I didn't know if he was still in the room. Because at this point there were like 7 or 8 of us. It was under 10. But I feel like that's the one piece of information you don't have. Like, you know how many people are in there, but you don't know who they are. That would be another whole thing, to show a list. Because, I mean, you go to some of these places and there are thousands of people watching. So, what do you do with that? You're not gonna scroll through a list of thousands of names. So I can understand why they wouldn't have that. There's a box on the side of the road. There's a little cross. I think the mattress is gone, by the way. I didn't see it yesterday. I'm not seeing it now. And I think we're gonna be up to Hook Road pretty soon. Yeah. So I think the mattress is gone. Which means Carroll County took care of that in less than a week. They found it, took care of it, or somebody took it. Maybe one of my many viewers. I was going to ask that driver some more questions about his experience, but I believe it's a delivery truck which could be driven by different people. Because in the description, it just says something like, ride along with our drivers. So it's not like ride along with me. I don't think that it's a single person who is running that feed. I think there are different people that could be driving on different days. So with that being the case, I guess sometimes you can chime in and it could be a different person, maybe somebody that you had to talk to before. So still, I'm a little curious about the whole bird chef thing. I'll figure it out. I will eventually figure that out. I didn't want to ask a lot of questions about streaming though, because, and I didn't mention that, hey, I'm streaming a delivery thing, because I feel like if you have somebody that joins a channel like that, like a live stream, I don't want to be talking about the fact that I'm doing the same thing on a much smaller scale, but I'm doing the same thing. I don't want to do that because it sounds like, you know, I imagine people pop in and try to, you know, grab viewers that way. Like, hey, you know, I do this too. Check out my channel. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that person. I would rather promote other people. I don't mind doing that if they're good. Like, I would say it's fun. It's very relaxing just watching this guy ride around. the neighborhood. And he does answer your questions. The guy I was riding with was answering my questions. He wasn't spontaneously just throwing information out there like me. But he was answering questions. So he was interactive. What do you call it if you're interactive and there's nobody in your room? Is that interactive? Whoops. Okay. There's a state police car. And I just drove by. My headlight was out. He's not following me. Okay, that's good. State police. Maybe you see them mostly on the highways and stuff. So I would think automotive issues such as headlights could be under their purview. Oh, should have brought a cookie. I know I'm going to get gas. I should bring it from just in case. 267 will be down. Okay, so this price hasn't changed. Okay, folks, so here's what's happening. I've noticed this is the second time now, so I'm sure it's going to be a regular deal. When I pull in to get gas, because I'm underneath the ceiling that they have over the gas pumps, you lose the connection. So I would imagine I'm coming back. Hopefully I've come back now. So there's a pause when I'm in there. So I can't, it doesn't work. Like when I was with the phone, you would see me pumping gas, but now you can't see me pumping gas anymore because I'm underneath something. So you probably didn't see any of that, which is fine. Nothing exciting happened. You didn't miss anything. But I did try to, like, just tap on the, well, I sort of hit it with the, banged on the headlamp area. Because back in the day, that would fix it. Or at least it would turn it back on for a couple of minutes. But it didn't work. So. I'm sure that the light bulbs they use now don't do things like that. So we're heading back to the bakery. Filled up with gas. guy that I don't missed, but I'm still getting it. Bright enough to drive without the lights on, which means it won't be obvious that I have a light on. You know what I'm saying? There's the truck for sale. 410-857-0054. Automotive division of Portillo's Bakery. The automotive sales division. I knew that I had passed on this roadway. I passed a deer that was like off in the left-hand side. He was like off in the distance. You really couldn't see. It was too much of a blur. Like this video wasn't focused on that area, so it wasn't. You couldn't really see it. He wasn't close to the road. He was pretty far off. Didn't miss anything. Birds on the wire. Jeez. And there's a bunch down in the field. had a choice, if somebody said they would grant me one superpower, I think I'd go for flight. Not flappy flight. I don't want to have to flap my arms. I just want to be able to like lift up, hover. Wow, we're going into dense fog. Dense fog situation. Dense fog situation. Just like that, we're out. We survived it. We'll let him go. We'll let him go.
I didn't understand what you said.
Who are you talking to? Did you hear her? What? I must have pressed a button. Oh, I think I did. I think I pressed this little voice. There's a little half a face with a voice thing coming out of it. Say something she did understand. Oh, cows are up. The Carroll Candy cows. Carroll Candy cows are up. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Okay, folks. Another successful delivery day. More adventures tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get that light fixed soon. Anything else I was going to say? No. Tomorrow is an hour later. It's only one trip, so I start at 6. So stay tuned. Be good. Bye-bye now.